Last month, Lightroom had a pretty big update, one of the biggest updates in the last few years, and Adobe have added a whole bunch of new features to Lightroom. But there's one feature in particular that's quite well hidden, that's actually really useful, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to start right now. Now, before we start talking about this new feature, you want to make sure that your Lightroom Classic is up to date first. You want to make sure it's updated to 15.0 or newer. In fact, I'm using 15.0.1 to actually use this new feature. Otherwise, you'll be scratching your head wondering where it is simply because you haven't updated your Lightroom. So firstly, where can we find this new slider? Well, it's actually fairly buried within inside Lightroom. There's two places that you can find it. The first place is inside your point color tool in your develop panel. So this is the photo that I'm going to be showing you today. What I'm going to do is go over to my color mixer, drop over to point color, and you can find it's grayed out at the moment because we obviously haven't selected a color. We've got this Variance slider here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, use my eyedropper tool and simply activate point color. So I'm going to go ahead and click. Now in point color, you've obviously got your hue shift, saturation shift, luminance shift. Then underneath, you've got Variance. And you might be wondering, well, what the hell does that mean? Well, all it does is it basically can unify or add in contrast to a specific hue of your photo. And actually, this could be a very useful slider if you want more color unity in your photo, especially if you're maybe a product photographer or a fashion photographer that works with very specific hues. You might want to unify them due to maybe lighting inconsistencies. This is a very powerful tool. Now, obviously, hue changes the actual color itself. You've got saturation, which again changes saturation, and then luminance. But if you want to kind of crush the colors together or squish them, slide it over to the left. Now you'll find that there's less contrast in that specific hue. You're not necessarily getting as sharp shadows or as bright highlights, as well as the colors get kind of pushed together a little bit more, unifying that one color band than what might have been quite an expansive color. But if you slide it over to the right, you'll find the color becomes a lot more crisper, a lot sharper. There's more whites, there's more blacks, there's more contrast, as well as there's more color variation within that one specific hue. Now, obviously, if you're working with a dress that's bright red, this can be easily seen. So if I slide it over from max to the right, to the left, you can see that it looks like it's a lot shinier if we add more contrast to it, where the color looks a lot more silky, a lot more satin if you slide it all the way over to the left. But is there a practical way that we can use this, especially if you're a landscape or wildlife photographer? Well, actually, I found a really helpful use for this new tool. So what I'm gonna do is head over to Photo 2. Now, that's a photo that I've taken in Mesa Arch in Canyonlands National Park. Now, if we have a look at the sky here, because I was using a polarizing filter, there's quite a lot of color variation in the sky. It's quite bright, but also quite dark at the same time. That's just to do with polarization. That's kind of how polarizing filters work. So what can we do to kind of unify these colors in the background? Well, what I'm going to do is go ahead and select a certain hue. So I'm going to go ahead and select roughly in the middle part of this sky. And we can use this Variance slider to unify more of these colors. But because it's built into point color, we can actually select a larger range first. So what I'm gonna do, making sure that we have got all the sky selected, I'm gonna go down to visualize range. You can see this is the blue that it's selected. So what I might do is I wanna select a little bit more of those saturated colors, and I might select a little bit more of those darker colors as well. And I might open up the actual hue range a little bit further as well, selecting more of those tealy colors that might be found in the sky over to the left-hand side. Okay, so once it's selected, now we can mess around with the sliders. So we'll start off with the Variance slider. Now, if I slide it over to the right, it's actually gonna make the situation worse because again, we're adding in more color contrast and really adding in a lot more color depth to the image. So you can see that now the blues are really strong and there's a lot more kind of values of blue there that weren't there originally. So I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do is slide it over to the left instead. And you can see the sky looks a lot more pastel, a lot more uniform now. The blue isn't as strong of a difference on the right-hand side versus the center where it is near the sun. So for example, if you slide it over to the right again, you can see everything becomes a little bit more crisper, a lot more saturated, a lot more contrasty. Where if we slide it over to the left, you just don't get that level of an effect. Now, obviously, I wouldn't recommend using the extremes of this slider or any slider in Lightroom, as it can ruin your image. So again, be nice and subtle, but I would probably go for this image around -30, immediately makes the sky just look a little bit softer. But obviously, because it's part of point color, we can use the other sliders as well. So for example, I might make the sky maybe a little bit more blue or a little bit darker blue there. I might reduce the saturation, helping to that effect as well as I might brighten it up again a little bit further. So just using that point color, you can see we've got the before and after of just the sky, and it works really nice. So you can see this particular tool is or should I say this particular slider, because it's kind of built into a tool, is very useful. But I did mention you can find it in 2 places, and so far we've only talked about where you can find it in point color. Well, you can also find it inside masking as well. So if we go ahead, create new mask, I'm gonna go ahead and select the sky this time. Once you've created a mask inside point color, you've also got it here as well. So again, if I go ahead and select blue, you've got that Variance slider inside point color, inside masking. So if you only wanna really select a local part, maybe you've got a model with a blue sky and a blue dress, and you don't wanna affect the blue dress, but you do wanna affect the blue sky, then you can do that, or again, vice versa, just simply by using masking. Now, is it a groundbreaking new slider? Not necessarily, but it's a slider that I didn't know I needed, but now I absolutely love. But of course, write down in the comments below, what do you think of this new slider? Do you think it's worthwhile using, or are you just gonna simply skip past it in your editing workflow? Make sure to write it down in the comments below. Thank you to all of my YouTube members that are currently supporting the channel. If you guys want to support the channel and get some awesome perks, including free Lightroom presets like the ones you can see on screen, and get to watch videos before they go live, make sure to go ahead to the link in the description. I've been James for Photo Fever, and I'll catch you guys on Thursday.